Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, the bishops, the elders of GMS Rule as well. Peace and salutations to the elect. My name is Anah. I'm back with another video. Basically, just going into Revelations 13. We'll get scriptures and the precepts on it. Basically, a breakdown of Revelations 13. So I got it pulled up. This is the beast from the sea, Revelation 13 and 1. It says, "And I stood," and this is the John the Revelator receiving a vision, right? Revelation 13 and 1. It says, "And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his head the name of blasphemy." Right? So basically, the sea here is people. The beast would be the revitalized Roman Empire, which is modern day America, which is Babylon the Great, right? Having 7 heads and 10 horns, basically the kingdoms, the different government powers, rulers, and then it says, "And upon his head the name of blasphemy." All right, so we're gonna get all of that. Let's get C, which will be Revelation 17 and 15. Revelation 17 and 15, it says, "And he saith unto me," this is another vision. It says, "And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues." So we can see that the sea here is talking about people. Let's get that word beast, because this beast is a man. Esau Edom, basically his kingdom, his vassal states. Right here.
Strong's G 2342. Therion. Therion.
It says an animal, a wild beast, a brutal, bestial man, savage, ferocious. Alright, and we know that to be talking about Esau Edom, his military might, his military power, the beast system, EU and NATO. So blasphemy, let's get that blasphemy. What is blasphemy? Let's actually get the definition of that too.
Strong's G 988. Blasphemia. Blasphemia.
Slander, basically slander, detraction, speech injurious to another's good name, reproachful speech. We're going to get 2 Thessalonians 2. It says, "Men of lawlessness." That's talking about Esau Edom. We'll start at 3. 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3 says, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition." Right? And there was a falling away, the falling away of the Israelites. Right? We fell from the glory that we once had to this low state. Falling from our power, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And also that man of sin being revealed, the son of perdition. Right? And that's Esau Edom, that man of sin. Right? He's been revealed every day, basically. Revelations 2 and 4, it says, "Who opposeth and exalted himself above all that is called Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, or that is worshipped, so that he, as God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God," right? And we got one individual, Cotton Swab of the WF, saying that they are gods upon earth. If you get in their way, they're gonna, basically kill you. They're saying Yahweh and Yahweh Shai is fake news. Those are some of the things they said. So, yep. Continuing on. So I read that again. Revelation 13:1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his head the name of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. Right. So to get to understand this part right here, we can go to Daniel chapter 7. And get verse 6. Right, so in Daniel chapter 7, Daniel also received a dream. In his vision, he's going into like the 4 great kingdoms of the world, basically, that rule the world, and then coming to the last kingdom, which is Babylon the Great. That will be the last kingdom before Yahweh Shai comes, and destroys that kingdom, and redeems the Israelites, and set them up in their kingdom, which is the everlasting kingdom. But getting right here to the third beast, I got my Bible open up too with some notes in there. So we're going to be getting Daniel 7 and 6. Right, so third beast, Daniel 7 and 6, it says, After this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. The beast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. Now, this beast is talking about the Greek kingdom with Alexander the Great, right? And these 4 wings is his 4 generals, that was like right up under him, that he had in power with him also. So, and they described this beast as a leopard, right? So that's pretty much why this in Revelation 13 it said and the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, because remember, this is the revitalized Roman Empire, right? So basically this is the Roman Empire that was formed, and then out of that basically came Babylon the Great. So that's why the Babylon the Great is somewhat likened unto the leopard, because that was basically the start in the beginning stages of Esau's kingdom, pretty much. So there you go. That it says, and the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear. And right, the feet is the end of the thing, right? So if you go into prophecy, the end of Babylon the Great would be war with Russia. Let's get that in. Actually, it's in this. It's just in this right here. Let me make sure. No, actually, that's 20. Sorry. So going to 20, it says Satan freed and doomed. Revelations 20 and 7, it says, and when 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the 4 quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, which is Russia and the land of Russia, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea, right? If you go into prophecy also, it explains that. It says prophecy about Gog and the future invasion of Israel. If you get to verse 4, like once again, this is talking about Gog and Magog, which is Russia, the land of Russia. It says Ezekiel 38 and 4, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shield, all of them handling swords. Then it goes into Persia, Ethiopia, Libya, so Iran and all, the people surrounding Russia that Russia is allied to. It says in verse 7, be thou prepared and prepare thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou guard unto them. It says, in many days thou shalt be visited. In the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Israel, which have been always waste, but is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them. Though thou shalt ascend and come like a storm, and thou shalt be like a cloud over the land, thou and all thy bands and many people with thee. Right. So this is basically going into the World War III that Russia is gonna, initiate on Babylon the Great in Israel. Babylon the Great being totally destroyed, and Israel also been destroyed, but that land will be built back up, and but Babylon the Great, which is USA, will never be inhabited again. Just let's get some of that. Right here, Jeremiah 51, it says, the word that the Lord spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet. Declare ye among the nations, and publish, and set up a standard, publish and conceal not. Say, Babylon is taken, Bel is confounded, Merodach is broken in pieces, her idols are confounded, her images are broken in pieces. For out of the north there cometh up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove, they shall depart, both man and beast. Right? So basically that's Russia coming up against Babylon the Great, and Babylon the Great being destroyed. Right, so going back to Revelation 13, with that the bear, Russia is likened unto the bear, right? If you go into Russia and you look at, I think like some of their like national animal, or basically they're related to the bear, right? And the bear, which is Russia, it says, let me get this. It says, and his feet were as the feet of a bear. So the feet is the end of a thing, and like I said, Russia is related to this bear, and Russia is going to be the enemy coming against Babylon the Great to destroy them, right? So that's why that's it saying that. Revelation 13:2, it says, and the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion, and the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. Right, so going again, the dragon is the Roman Empire, and I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. Right, so the Roman Empire was wounded, and it fell down during the Dark Ages, the Byzantine Empire, for about 1,000 years, and that's going back to Revelation 20 that I just read. And after that 1,000 years, they came back, and that's why it says the deadly one was healed, right? And what came out of that is Babylon the Great, and it says, and all the world wonder after the beast. And they worshiped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast, and they worshiped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with him, right? Basically, this great power, being EU, NATO, and America together. And of course, their laws, and different things, technology, and all of that. And that's why the world, worship after them, and who saying who is like them. Revelation 13:5, it says, and there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. So going back to my notes right here. So that 42 months is basically 350 years, but it's leading up into even to now, right? Because they're still in power. So basically, through slavery and different things that happen, to us, the Israelites in the world, that's why it says, and there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. So the Most High, Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai, gave him a certain time, a certain amount of time that he would basically rule the world and, have us in subjection up into this point that we're in right now. Let's get Revelations 11:11. See what that says. Right, Revelations 11:11. It says, and after 3 days and a half, the spirit of the spirit of life from Yahweh entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. Right, so that's going to that 350-year period. basically from let's get Revelations 20. So from the fall of the Roman Empire, the 1,000 years of the Byzantine Empire, and then basically the revitalized Roman Empire, which is Babylon the Great, and up until now, that's the time that they had that little season to rule, and they're ruling up until now. Once again, it says in that Revelation 20:7, it says, "And when 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea." Right? So that's pretty much what's taking place. And this is going into Revelations 11:11. It says, "And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from God entered into them." That's going into Ezekiel 37 with the breath entering into us. Because once again, like that period of time when we were brought through slavery and things like that, we were in a low state. We didn't have the knowledge. We didn't know who we were. We just was, in subjection, basically in slavery, hardcore slavery to Esau Edom. But after a certain time, we started to get the knowledge, to wake up on our feet. And that's why it says, "And great fear fell upon them which saw them," which is the other nations, Esau, Edom, and all the other heathen. Revelation 13:6, it says, "And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against Yahweh, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in the heavens." Right? So that's against Yahweh Bashim Yahushai and against the tabernacle, which are the Israelites, and them that dwell in heaven, the angels. In many different ways he does this. Once again, like I said, he said, Yahweh Shai and Yahweh is fake news. And he's continued to call us bywords, saying like we're 3/4 of a men, and different things that he may say. Even this disowning or saying that they don't know what the chariots in the skies are, or saying that they captured them, or even, just showing images and things of them looking like green men. But basically, Esau Edom know what those chariots in the sky is. The UFOs, the unidentified aircrafts. Basically, those are the chariots of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, right? And Esau Edom knows that, but they won't admit it, and they'll say it's something else. So that's how he slanders against Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, against the Israelites, and against the angels. Revelation 13:7. It says, "And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations." Right? So once again, it was given to him by Yahweh Bashim Yahushai for a certain period of time to make war with the saints and to overcome them. Right? Once again, the fact that they conquered us and put us into subjection, which is, the hardcore slavery, and also how they are, ruling the world. Basically, they have their embassies everywhere. They're all over the place, different nations. They're setting up their different puppets, passing laws and, making people basically bow down to them all over the world. Let's get the blessing that Esau Edom will receive. Genesis 27:39. Oh, it'd be actually, 39. Sorry. Yeah, so let's just get this. We'll start here. Genesis 27:39. It says, "And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above." Right? And if you want to go into this Genesis 27, this is just going to the different blessings that Jacob and Esau, got between each other, right? So we understand that Jacob got the blessings of all the promises and things like that, and basically to have the dominion over Esau in the end. That even goes to the scripture says Esau was first born, and then Jacob, grabbed the heel of Esau because Esau is the end of the road and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, right? I'm roughly paraphrasing that scripture. So anyway, Genesis 27:39, it says, "And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Right? And that happened. You know, basically, we're no longer in hardcore slavery. We got the knowledge now. We're standing up on our feet. They're fear and trembling. But we can see that Esau Edom is the hammer of the whole earth, and he's going to be brought down. Oh, Jeremiah 50. Let's get that. Jeremiah 50 and 23. So once again, remember, this is a prophecy against Babylon the Great. Basically, the destruction of Babylon the Great, because this place was always set up to be brought down. Esau Edom's kingdom was always set up to be brought down. And once again, I had just read some of this earlier. So going here, it says Jeremiah 50 and 22, a sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations, right? So once again, we just read in Genesis 27:39 that Esau Edom will have the fatness of the world, basically, But he's going to be brought down, as we're getting into, right? So that's pretty much it. And that's why it says, Revelation 13 and 7, and it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world, right? So anyone, that's not written in the book of life will worship this person, take his chip and all of that, which we'll get into. It says, if any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints, right? And how does Esau Edom do that? Through his sword. That's how the whole, through fear, deceiving, through his witchcraft. That's how all these different people are worshiping after him. His different laws, his draconian measures, right? Revelation 13:11, it says, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. So what you got to remember is that this is the revitalized Roman Empire. And basically they're imaging, or they're copying, basically the Roman Empire. So when you get this verse here, it says, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. Let's get that. So if you go back, let's do a little Google search about this. Hopefully I spell it right. Here we go. So if you go back to the Roman Empire, you have something called the patricians and the plebeians, right? It says patricians would be the upper class people, such as wealthy landowners would be in the patricians group. Plebeians would be the lower class, which would be normal people in Rome. The separation meant that they would be completely separated. Plebeians could only marry people from their social class and so forth, right? But modern day Babylon the Great, what do we have? We have Republicans and Democrats. You would say your Republicans are people that business minded, because that's pretty much what it is. And then you have your Democrats, which is basically regular people, pretty much. So that's how it's saying. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, right? So that's them crouching down with smooth words, It says, and he spake as a dragon. Let's get that in Psalm 55 and 21. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. This is Psalm 55 and 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Right? So that's why it says, and he spake as a dragon. Even though he come with, oh, Republican or Democrat, you have a choice, this good guy, bad guy, however you want to put it, right? But ultimately, they're in bed with each other, and it's all about destruction, pretty much. Revelation 13 and 12, it says, and he exercises all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. Right? So if you look at Babylon the Great around the world, United States, you can see that everything is pretty much copied from the ancient Roman Empire through their laws, bread and circus. You have things like football stadiums, same as like the Colosseums, the gladiator fights. All of that stuff is copied from modern Rome, basically. Ancient Rome. And that's how he causes the world to worship, the ancient Roman Empire by basically implementing and putting those same things back then here today. You got some Psalms 94 and 20. So basically, once again, another big way he does this by causing the world to worship the first beast is through their laws, basically. Draconian measures and things like that. Even Trump is talking about bringing back guillotines and firing squads. Right? Those were ancient customs of ancient Rome. So Psalms 94 and 20, it says, shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by law? Like, if you really think about it, in today's modern society, they have, like, what, prisons, guns, even when you go to jail and, you got to die, death row, basically, what they do, they sit you in a chair and they inject you or something, but they're talking about bringing back, guillotines, firing squads, things like that. That's, like, ancient, type of stuff right there. So that's different laws that the Roman Empire had that now Babylon the Great is trying, basically implementing here. Let's get Isaiah 10 and 1. It says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. Right? So even, making a law saying, yeah, we're going to bring back guillotines and kill you off like that. Those are ancient Roman, laws. So Revelation 13 and 13, it says, and he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on earth in the sight of men. Right, and that great wonder, if you go back into it, Esau Edom was the first person to drop a nuke, on Nagasaki. Basically, they didn't want to have war no more. It says, and he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on earth in the sight of men. Because you got to remember, John the Revelator is receiving a vision. Right, so he's describing the things that he's seeing. But now, we have the understanding now here because we can actually see these things and we understand it now through the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So we understand that these are the nukes. It says, and he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. It says, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live. Right, so once again, through their laws, their technology, draconian measures, their witchcrafts, even, their military might, these are all ways that they make an image after the beast and cause the, let's continue. Revelation 13 and 15 says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many who would not worship the image of the beast should be killed, right? So that's going into their technology, you know, their military power, their laws, you know, the structures of how it's the same as the Roman Empire, all of that. Let's get let's see what this is, Daniel 8:25 for a second. Okay, yeah, let's go right here. Where we at? Daniel 8. We're gonna get Daniel 8:25. We just started we'll start at 3. Daniel 8:23. It says, and in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up, Babylon the Great. And his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. And he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper, and practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people. And through his policy, right, his different laws, he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, right? And that's how he's causing people to worship and wonder after the beast and make an image to the beast. Daniel 8:25, it says, and through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. That's even going back into, you know, let's get it. Right? He had 2 horns like a lamb. That's going back into that, having 2 horns like a lamb. Read it again. It says, Daniel 8:25, and through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, right? The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, and by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand, right? And that's him. He's thinking that he's going to come out of this alive. You know, he's thinking that he's going to be able to face Yahweh Shai when he returns, you know, to make war with Yahweh Shai. And it's not gonna happen that way. Revelation 13:16. It says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, right? And this is going to the MOTB, which is here, right? I was watching a video today from Elder Pastahar, of course, of GMS, and like I always say, you know, I'm breaking this down right now, but I learned this from the men of GMS, right? Starting from Elder Pastahar on down, right? You can go on their pages, and there's many breakdowns on the MOTB in Revelation 13 also. So, you know, like I always say, those are the men of the Lord. You know, those are the prophets sent, and you should, you know, subscribe and be edified. You know, that's pretty much the only camp that you should be listening to. There are other camps, you know, that they would say that that's their affiliates and things like that, but you know, the main camp would be GMS. All these other camps, IUIC. See, IUIC don't know what this is, right? They don't have the oil. They don't have the knowledge. Different camps don't know what this is, right? You want the truth, you want the whole truth. You know, to make it out alive, you know, you need to follow GMS. Anyway, Revelation 13:16, it says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666, right? That's 666. And we'll get it.
Strong's G 5516. Chi, Xi, Stigma. Chi, Xi, Stigma.
Right, Chi Psi Stigma. So the X, Chi, this X symbol here, you know, they X'd out Yahweh Shai. Psi goes into their wisdom, and Stigma is the mark. let me see what that was. Galatians 6:17, it says, "From henceforth let no man trouble me, for I bear in my body the marks of the Lord Yahweh Shai." I'm getting to that word mark. Here you go, stigma.
Strong's G 4742. Stigma. Stigma.
So it says a mark pricked in or branded upon the body. To ancient Oriental usage, slaves and soldiers bore the name or the stamp of their master or commander, branded or pricked, cut into their bodies to indicate what master or general they belonged to. And there were even some devotees who stamped themselves in this way with the token of their gods, right? So basically, Esau Edom is trying to put a mark into you, which the MOTB that you'll be using to buy and sell, and that will make you his own, right? You will no longer be property of Yahweh Bashmi Shai, but you'll be property of the man of sin, right? Esau Edom, and you don't want that. Basically, you don't take this mark, or you're going to be destroyed. This is a warning to the hopeful elect, right? So with this, I hope you were edified. If you felt like you were edified, or if you wasn't edified, I would like to know. You can drop a comment down in the comment section. Let me know. And any questions or anything like that, if I need to go over it again, break it down, for you, whatever, I'll be happy to do so. So just let me know. With that, I want to say shalom to the hopeful elect.